Hello friends, welcome to Insights I Can Initiative. In today's video, we are going to discuss about Parliament sessions. Actually, the Parliament special session is going to start with the reminding about Indian Parliament success for the last 75 years. So, the journey of last 75 years regarding the Indian Parliament, it is going to be discussed in today's Parliament. So, in this context, we are going to cover up certain issues related to Indian Parliament. What issues we are going to discuss? That we'll see in the video components. Before we discuss the video component, let us see the syllabus mapping. The syllabus mapping of this video is related to UPSC Mains Gender Studies Paper 2. In UPSC Mains Gender Studies Paper 2, this is particularly related to Indian Constitution and polity. This is the syllabus mapping. And in this video, we are going to discuss about these particular details. First, why this particular issue is in news. That is, 75 years of Parliament journey. Why it is in news? It is in news because the Parliament is going to discuss about the journey of Indian Parliament for last 75 years in the special session. And apart from this, they are going to discuss some other details also. We will cover that. Then historical background of Indian Parliament. That means the parliamentary form of democracy is not new to India. It was there in the ancient time, medieval time, and it evolved during the Britishers' time, and finally it reached to the highest position with the implementation of Indian Constitution. Then we will discuss about some of the key events in the Indian Parliament, such as some of the key events related to the passing of bills and some other things. Then we will discuss about special session of Parliament. Which article deals with the special session? Is there any dedicated article or not? What is the meaning of special session? And previously, how many times these special sessions were held? And in this particular special session, what we are going to discuss? So these are the areas we are going to cover subsequently. That is the agenda of the special session of the Parliament. So these are the video components. Now let us see why it is in news. First, students, a special session of the Parliament which called for between September 18 to September 22. This special session is going to begin with Parliament's 75 years of journey, which started since 1946. Here you have to understand, Indian Parliament journey actually during the Britishers' time, it started in 1946. Okay, in 1946, cabinet mission came to India, and based on the suggestion of this cabinet mission, elections held to Constituent Assembly. Elections conducted to what? To Constituent Assembly. Constituent Assembly. Elections conducted. And this Constituent Assembly, once it is formed, till 1947, Constituent Assembly acted as Parliament. Till 1947, Constituent Assembly acted as Parliament. Okay? But the main function is making of Constitution, not exactly the Parliament, making of Constitution, because at that time, Parliament functions performed by British Parliament. Between 1947 to 1949, this Constituent Assembly, it performed not only the making of Constitution, even it also acted as a Parliament. Okay. In 1949, after we adopted the Constitution, 1950 till 1952, this Constituent Assembly acted as Parliament, because by that time already we done with the making of Constitution. Again, since 1952, there is no Constituent Assembly because the Lok Sabha Rajya Sabha formed, because we conducted the general elections in 1952. This is the journey of Constituent Assembly. Here, tell me students, who are the members in the cabinet mission? Put your answer in the comment section. Who are the members in the cabinet mission? So this is how Constituent Assembly journey started in 1946. But the concept of Parliament is not new to Indians. It was there even in the ancient time also. If you remember rightly, during the Vedic periods, we used to have Sabha and Samiti. Sabha and Samiti also nothing but a type of parliament where people used to discuss their problems. In the same way, we used to have this kind of parliamentarian culture in the medieval time as well as during the Britishers' time, that we will see now. In the ancient period, we used to have Sabha and Samiti, and they were very common in the ancient India, especially the early Vedic period. Later Vedic period, of course, there was a decline in Sabha and Samiti. Next, Mauryan Empire. During the Mauryan Empire, Ashoka was credited with having the Buddhist council. You know, students, there were 4 Buddhist council. Third Buddhist council arranged by the Ashoka. And tell me, who organized the 4th Buddhist council? 4th Buddhist council organized by which ruler? In this 3rd Buddhist council, it can be viewed as an early example of deliberation, a parliamentary kind of culture. This is the example from Mauryan periods. Next, during the Gupta periods, decision making took place in the Mahasabhas during the Gupta period. These Mahasabhas can be resembled to modern parliamentarian process. Then, during the medieval time, during the kingdoms of Cholas and Mughals, they used to have assemblies and councils. They used to guide the rulers. With the help of those guidance, like kings used to take decisions. British rule. During the British rule, the Indian representation in the British lawmaking, it started since 1858. In 1857, Sipahi revolt was happened. In 1858, Britishers promised to Indians that from there onwards, they are going to provide the good governance. According to that, in 1861, Indian Councils Act was made. Indian Councils Act. What does it mean? That means Indians are going to be decision-making body. Indians are going to be part of decision-making body. Indian Councils Act 1861. Then Indian Councils Act 1892. Then Parliamentary reforms, where separate electorate given to Muslims. After that, through Government of India Act 1935, Britishers started the bicameral legislature even in the state levels also. That means having 2 houses. Initially, bicameral legislature started in the central level, that is through Montague-Chelmsford reforms in 1919. Then in 1935, they started in the state level also. After we got the independence, then we started this making of constitution. We started in 1946 itself. After we got independence, we had the general elections, and through the general elections, Lok Sabha formed as well as the Rajya Sabha formed. And Jawaharlal Nehru became the first Prime Minister of the democratic country, and Babu Rajendra Prasad became the first President of India. So that was about the historical context of parliamentary process in India. Now we will try to understand some of the key events in the Indian Parliament. Okay. So now year-wise, some of the important years and what kind of key issue dealt by Indian Parliament we are going to discuss. 1946, Constituent Assembly first met on December 9th. Already I told you, Constituent Assembly was formed based on the suggestion of Cabinet Mission. Members of Cabinet Missions are Cripps, Alexander, Lawrence. 1950, Constitution, 1949, Constitution was adopted, and 1950, Constitution was implemented since 26 January. 1952, first general elections held, and which resulted to the formation of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. 1956, adoption of the State Reorganization Act. The State Reorganization Act was adopted based on the Fazal Ali Commission. Based on the Fazal Ali Commission, State Reorganization Act was made, and the entire category of this category A, B, C, D, all those categories were abolished, and the entire India divided into 14 states and 6 UTs. 1957, second general election. 61, liberation of Goa, Dam and Diu. And you know that since 1961 to 1987, Goa was UT. In 1987, Goa became the state. 1966, Indira Gandhi. So India witnessed the first woman Prime Minister of India. Then 1971, 24th Constitution Amendment Act was made. Then 1976, 42nd Amendment, which even changed the preamble also, which added the word socialist and secular. 1975 to 77, one of the most unfortunate incident in Indian democracy, which we see in that Indira Gandhi's imposition of emergency. Then 1984, Operation Blue Star, and of course this resulted to the assassination of Indira Gandhi. Then 1986, passage of the Muslim Women Act. This Muslim Women Act was in response to the Shabano case. You know that in the Shabano case, Supreme Court given a verdict that during the divorce, Muslim men has to give maintenance to the women. Of course, that was reversed by this Muslim Women Act. Next, 1991, economic liberalization. economic reforms introduced by P.V. Narasimha Rao through this privatization, liberalization, privatization and globalization, LPG reforms. Next, 2005, Right to Information Act was passed, and this was one of the watershed moment in the Indian democracy, because through what this Right to Information Act, through this particular act, information started become available to the common man. It started become available to the activists. Okay, so this Right to Information Act. Complete opposite to Right to Information Act is about Official Secrets Act. 2016, implementation of the GST through 101 Constitution Amendment Act. 2019, Jammu Kashmir Reorganization Act. It was passed through this. Jammu Kashmir reorganized into two UTs, Jammu and Kashmir UT as well as the Ladakh as a UT. Next, 2020, COVID pandemic disrupt the parliament session. 2023, inauguration of the new parliament building. 2023, special session of the parliament, which marked the 75 years journey of the Indian parliament. That means we celebrated the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, and now we are going towards the Amrit Kal. That is the significance of this particular session. Now, special session means what? Does the special session really mentioned in the constitution? No. Okay. Normally, Indian constitution mentioned that according to Article 85 Clause 1, President can summon the parliament from time to time. And constitution only mentioned that the time gap between the two sessions should not be more than 6 months. Even constitution did not mention about a number of sessions also. It can be any number. But between the two sessions, it should not be more than 6 months. Normally, Indian Parliament assembles in 3 sessions. They are budget session, monsoon session and winter session. If they go for any other session, 4th session, out of these 3, generally those sessions are known as special sessions. So now we are going to witness one special session regarding this year. 1962, various times, like regarding the special sessions. 1962, special session was held regarding to discuss about India-China war. 1972, to celebrate the 25 years of Indian independence. 1992, to celebrate the 50th years anniversary of Quit India movement. 1997, commemorating 50th anniversary of Indian independence. 2005, a tribute to B.R. Ambedkar's 125th birth anniversary. 2017, to mark the rolling out, that means starting of the GST. So, but in majority of these times, the special session was last for only 1 day. It was not about the group of days. So now, now we are going to have a group of days regarding the special session. Meanwhile, we are going to discuss about what are the issues associated with Indian Parliament. What issues are associated? They are, number 1, nepotism in politics. Because of the legacy only, some are able to come into the politics. Unless until you are exceptional, okay, then only, even without legacy, you are able to come to the politics. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Increasing criminalization of politics, wealthy politicians and poor citizens, that means concentration of wealth, the less number of women parliamentarian. Now the women reservation bill is also in news. Actually, in politics, women is enjoying the compulsory reservation only in the local government, not in the state level, not in the central level. And Indian Parliament is not inclusive. That means not everyone is getting the equal choice. Lack of transparency. These are some of the issues facing by the Indian Parliament. Next, efforts made by the Indian Parliament to be more inclusive. What kind of efforts put by the Indian Parliament in a positive direction? Those efforts are representation. We are giving representation to SC, ST, and we are encouraging more representation from women. Political debates, it has to be more improved. Parliamentary committees which are scrutinizing the government activities, so which make sure executive is more accountable to legislature, and laws made for the social welfare. So the country is not just act as a night watchman country, it is also the social welfare, and amendments to the whichever the changing conditions, according to that we keep on amending the Indian constitution. And finally, public participation. So these are some of the initiatives taken by the Indian government to improve the parliament function. Next, what you can expect in this special parliament session? According to the bulletin issued by Rajya Sabha, we can expect a discussion on couple of bills. Post Office Bill 2023, Repealing an Amendment Bill 2023, that means repealing of certain old laws and enacting some new ones, and changing the chief election commissioner one. That is regarding the previously there was a recommendation that in the selection of CEC, the CJI must be the Chief Justice of India. Now that is going to be changed. And according to the communication from Parliament, they are also going to discuss about Advocate Amendment Bill 2023 and Press and Registration of Periodicals Bill 2023. These are some of the bills they are going to discuss in this special session. What is the conclusion? The conclusion is Indian Parliament evolved over the period of time, okay, since ancient time to the modern time. In spite of all these things, still India's dedication to the democracy and representative form of government is laudable, is appreciable. Whatever the form it may be, we are always respecting the democratic process. We are always respecting the parliamentarian form of government. Then yesterday's video question. Storm shadow, which was seen in news recently, it is related to what? It is related to cruise missile. Next, which of the following best describes K2-18b, which was recently seen in news? It is a exoplanet. Exoplanet means a planet which is near to solar system. Okay, not the one present in the solar system. Next, which of the following is best describes the mule? It is related to autonomous load bearing robot, mule. Next, Bose wetlands, it is present in which state? Madhya Pradesh. In yesterday's video, I explained about that. The Lucy mission, which was recently in news, was launched by NASA, Lucy mission. Now we'll see today's video question. Rajya Sabha has equal powers with Lok Sabha in which aspects? So in which area Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha both are equal? Comment. Means individual parliamentarian role as the national lawmaker is in decline. So individual role in the parliament is getting decline. In turn, has adversely impacted the quality of debate. So this is causing the parliamentary debates, the quality is decreasing and their outcomes also getting decreasing. So comment on this mains question. Now as we reach to the end of this video, so just we'll revise regarding the explanation of the mains question. Give me a couple of days, then I'll try to include the mains question discussion also. So meanwhile, today's quick revision. In this video we discussed about the significance of the special session, historical evolution of the Indian Parliament, some of the important incidents related to Indian Parliament we discussed, and what is special session, what is the agenda of this year special session we discussed. This is a detailed analysis regarding the 75 years journey of Indian Parliament.